income because they're selling the products. And when they're bringing in money, then their respect within their household increases.
Hi, I'm Sarah Tully, and I work at USAID in the Asia Bureau. I'm an American Association for the Advancement of Science Fellow.
My name is Erin Hughes. I work for Winrock International, and I'm managing the USAID's Nepal Education for Income Generation program.
Erin, could you tell me what's unique about Nepal's Education for Income Generation program, and how does it reach women and marginalized youth?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. So the Education for Income Generation program is a project that was developed to be a post-conflict project. And the objective of the project is to increase people's incomes. In the design of the project, there are 4 components. One is literacy, one is to do vocational education, the third is agriculture, and then we have a small component that works on scholarships. And the program is to really try to help marginalized youth increase their incomes. And by marginalized, we're talking about low caste, ethnic minorities, women, and conflict affected individuals. But to do that, first we work with literacy. And in literacy, we're providing a course. It's a 10-month course where we teach marginalized youth on techniques. Well, we teach them how to read, how to write, but also numeracy, business planning, and we are trying to target these individuals to increase their incomes through either vocational education or agriculture. There's some sections and modules on peace building, on nutrition. It's a really integrated program, and it helps individuals understand how to start a business by the end of the program. And we're tying that to our agriculture program, which is increasing incomes through increasing productivity, but also helping build up the value chains to go to the individuals. And these are very marginalized people in remote areas, so we're helping create collection centers and markets so that they can sell their products, as well as the input supply chain, including developing local service providers who can help the farmers access seeds and other kinds of inputs.
How do literacy and entrepreneurship relate to agriculture and food security?
Well, it's actually really important because what the group that we're dealing with, which are youth, and I forgot to mention that these are individuals between the ages of about 16 and 30, but there's a cycle of subsistence poverty, and so they don't have access to new inputs to improve their production because they don't have a place to sell their products. And so what we're doing under this project is kind of shifting the farming system to be not just agriculture, but to look at it as a business. So our literacy program helps educate the people on business and looks at agriculture as a business. So they look at what the inputs cost, the profit can be, and since we are helping develop the value chain with agriculture, we're having individuals that are now selling to the market, where before they didn't. And this is really important because when they're selling the things to the market, not only can they then buy new and improved inputs to improve their productivity, but they also can use the income for buying more food and sending their kids to school. So it's kind of shifting out of that cycle of poverty to a cycle of prosperity.
Please tell me more about the innovative things you've done to empower women in this program.
Well, that's a good point because we are mostly working with women. I think 83% of our beneficiaries are women. And what we're doing is that the literacy class will help empower them. It really gives them confidence. It's a 10-month course, and the women are working together. They consult with each other. They are and they're gaining the skills that they really need. And in Nepal in particular, there's some challenges because they tend to be a little shy. They are not so involved in activities outside the household. And through this literacy course, we're helping to empower them and give them confidence. So they will go to the market. They will use government services. And in part of our literacy class, we teach them how to use government services. We bring them to the district center. There we register them with the Agricultural Development Office. And also we bring them to the health office. So they are learning how to use all these services. They gain confidence. But more important, or as equally important, is the fact that the women are gaining income because they're selling their products. And when they're bringing in money, then their respect within their household increases, which means their mother-in-laws and their husbands, they all recognize that this is really important. And women, young women in particular, have very low status in the households of Nepal, especially if they're young brides. So by this the two things that we're doing under this project of increasing their confidence and also helping them increase income gives them a lot more decision-making power in the household. They're gaining the respect of their family members. And that's one of the big findings we think is important under this EIG program.
Why is it so important to target women, and how do you also reach men?
Well, women are important because if you want to really be changing what's happening in the household, women are taking care of the kids, they're taking care of the food, they're taking care of the household activities. So when you target women, you can help them make some systemic changes within the household. One of the things we're hearing is that women are now sending their children to school. The other is that they're thinking more about nutrition. We have recently done a study, and they have all the households that we've worked with have increased their food consumption and increased eating things such as protein as well as vegetables. And women they've been neglected, but they're really key players in the household. And I would just also like to add that in many of the communities we're working with, a lot of the men are working overseas, and so by default women are the heads of households. The other way that we're working with men is that we have with a literacy program, we've developed a school management committee, and sometimes there is some resistance about how the husbands or the mother-in-laws also, which can be a problem in Nepal, they will prevent their daughters or their wives from attending the literacy class. So what we do is that we have this management committee that will go and visit households to talk about the benefits of this program. And in the program, under the entire program, men are not excluded. We are working with men, and there are men in literacy classes. It just so happens that most of the people that are illiterate in Nepal are women. So that's why they're the target. I think when we're talking about nutrition and food security, women need to be your target.
What are some of the best practices and lessons learned you would want to share with other development practitioners?
Well, I think one of our lessons learned of the EIG program is that it's integrated. I mean, I think that the work we're doing in agriculture is somewhat innovative in terms of making sure that we are working with the bottom of the pyramid and working at that last mile to bring the private sector in there. But we're also, and the literacy I think in itself is innovative, but I think that the fact that we've got these two activities going together is really important. And the literacy is integrated too, as I mentioned. It's got health, it has peace-building skills, and it has agriculture and enterprise skills. And that combination makes it very, the results we're having unintended impact in a lot of different ways, which I think are really important.
Well, thank you so much for coming in today and sharing this exciting program with us.
I'm happy to talk about it. Thank you for inviting me.